believe house. Oh, we're about to have F-U-N, fun, because we're going to do Staar and U6 together. Oh. So a magical whiteboard appears, and let's start rocking and rolling on these awesome, fun problems. Okay, to do number 1, 2, and 3, we are first going to draw the slope man. So go over here, draw your slope man. Remember, he's winking at us. He's the cousin of the boy winking robot. He has a U for a nose, and his 2 dimples are zeros. Now then, remember, a positive line goes up from left to right. A negative line goes down from left to right. Undefined slope is his nose. It's vertical. That's undefined. A zero slope is flat. So remember those. An undefined is vertical. Zero is flat. Positive goes up. Negative goes down. So let's zoom back out. Okay, a y-equal line is going to be flat. It has a zero slope, and it's going to go through 2 on the y-axis. Just remember that. That's number 1. Y-equal, it does not cross x. So that red line never ever crosses x, and it has a zero slope. Number 2, an x-equal line is vertical. It will have an undefined slope. It will never cross y. So we're going to go right here. We're never ever going to cross the y-axis. That's line number 2. And now then we're going to do number 3. This number right here is our slope. It's negative 2/3. This is our y-intercept, 2. We're about to find the x-intercept, or the 0. So this line starts at 2, and then the slope from left to right goes down 2 over 3, down 2 over 3, and then go backwards up to left 3, up to left 3. So if I were to go left to right, I'm always going down 2 over 3. Connect the dots to form the line. And this is line number 3. Now then notice our 0 is going to be right here. Where does it cross the x-axis? At 3, 0. So an input of 3 outputs 0. So the 0 is the same thing as the x-intercept. Let's keep going. This line forms a right triangle right here. This is our base. This is our height. So our base is going to be 3 units, and our height is 2 units. So the base is 3, the height's 2. The area of that triangle is going to be 1/2 times 3 times 2, which is 6 divided by 2 is 3 units squared. Okay, keep going. Number 6, we're going to do the Pythagorean Theorem. So a squared plus b squared equals c squared. We're going to do 3 squared plus 2 squared equals c squared. That's going to be 9 plus 4 equals c squared. 9 plus 4 is 13. And then I need to square root this. So I need the square root of 13. So I'm going to go to my calculator. I'm going to hit home, A to calculate, Control X squared, 13, hit enter, and I get 3.6. So that's going to be my hypotenuse. So my hypotenuse is 3.6. And then lastly, the ordered pair that number 2 and number 3 intersect, it's right here. That ordered pair is left 3 up 4. It's going to be negative 3, 4. So at negative 3, 4, that ordered pair makes both equations work. Let's keep rocking and rolling, and the fun continues. Go to number 8. We're going to draw these shapes. Remember, a big squared is equal to x squared. A rectangle equals x, and a square is equal to a unit. So I'm going to go through here, x squared minus 2x plus 3. And then I'm going to draw these. So I'm going to draw 2x squared minus 3x. So I need 3 rectangles. And then minus 4. Notice I'm not drawing these really cool. And now then I'm going to write down my answer. So how many big squares do I have? I have 3 big squares, 3x squared. I have 5 shaded rectangles minus 5x. My squares are different, so I'm going to scratch out 0 pairs. I can scratch out 3 sets of 0 pairs. I have 1 shaded one left, minus 1. Keep going on. Let's go to number 9. 9, 10, and 11, we're going to be multiplying. So on number 9, we're going to multiply 3 units by 2 rectangles and 4 units, okay? So I need 4 more squares. The answer to a multiply problem is the area of a rectangle. Draw your answer rectangle, then slice it up. Notice everything's positive, so nothing's going to get shaded. My answer is going to be the number of shapes. So I have 6 rectangles, that's 6x, and I have 12 squares plus 12. Notice if I were to bluebell or distribute 3 times 2x is 6x, 3 times 4 is 12. I get the same answer. Go to number 10. I need a rectangle and 2 squares, and I need a rectangle and 3 squares. The answer is the rectangle. The area of the rectangle, slice it up. 1, 2. There's no negatives, so everything's positive, and bam, I got my answer. I got 1 big square, that's x squared. I got 2 rectangles and 3 rectangles, that's 5 rectangles, and then I got 6 squares. So x squared plus 5x plus 6. Going to number 11. Number 11, we got x minus 2. Let me do this in red. Easier to see. So I have x minus 2, and then I have x plus 2. And then these are shaded. So this is the first time we've had shaded today. We're going to draw our answer rectangle. We're going to slice up the rectangle. Wherever the pieces touch, you slice it up. On this one right here, we're going to get shaded pieces, aren't we? A negative times a positive is a negative. Now then, my answer is going to be what's left. So I have a big x squared, but my rectangles are going to cross out, aren't they? 2 open, 2 shaded, they cross out, and I got 4 shaded squares. That's a difference of squares. So if the binomials are the same, but the signs are different, the rectangles eliminate every time. Number 12, we need to graph this and generate a table by hitting Control-T. So we're going to graph it and hit Control-T to make a table, okay? So x squared minus 2x minus 3. Go to your calculator, hit Home, hit B to graph, and I'm going to hit Control-T to get the table off. Delete, delete, delete. Because I did this before and I didn't record on the camcorder. Now then, x squared minus 2x minus 3, hit Enter. I've got my function graphed. If I hit Control-T, I get my domain and ranges. Okay, so right here, my domain 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this right here is my range. -3, -4, -3, 0, and 5. So that's my domain and range on this. So I'm going to go to my paper. Input of 0 was -3, and input of 1 was -4, then it was -3, 0, and 5. This right here is the important one. If you input 3, you output 0. So 3 is the 0 of the function. 3, 0. An input of 3 would output 0. That's why it's called a 0. Continuing on to number 13. If you solve a linear function for y, the coefficient of the x is the slope. So y equal mx plus b, the number in front of the x is the growing number or the slope or the rate of change. This right here, bam, it's right here. So it's -4/3. Now then on the next two, we need to solve it for y. We want y equal x the number. Y equal x the number. So we got to move the x to the other side. When we do that, the positive 2x turns negative. And then we divide by 5. And this right here is my slope, -2/5. Ho, 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 ho. Going to the next one. I'm going to change pen color. We need to get the x to the right, don't we? We want it. Y equal x the number. So we got -3y equal, the 2x will turn into -2x, plus 12, divide by -3 on every term. So this right here is my slope. 2 negatives makes a positive. So my slope will be 2/3. Oh. Number 14. Okay, we want, on this one, we're going to have dollars is a function of the gizzards. And remember, it's y per x. So this is our y, this is our x. We're going to put this into a table, get the m and the b. Since we're dealing with money, we're going to leave the constant rate of change or the slope as a decimal. So let's go to the calculator, and we need 8, 20, 8, 10, or 4, 10, and 20 in. So I'm going to hit home, 1. I'm not going to save this, and then I'm going to add a spreadsheet, 4. I need to type in X and Y at the top. Okay, so I have my X and my Y at the top. Now then I'm going to type in 4, 10, and 20. So I have my X's in. I'm going to go over. Now I need to look at my Y's. So my Y's are going to be 8, 12.5, and 20. So 8, 12.5, and 20. So I have my X's and my Y's in. Now then, menu, stat calculation, linear regression. You're going to run a linear regression through the stat process. And it's menu 4, 1, 3, then X down, Y down, enter. So let's do this. Menu 4, 1, 3, X down, Y down, and then hit enter. Bam, right here is my slope, 0.75. So each gizzard costs 75 cents, basically is what that's saying. So go to here, my slope's 0.75. It's $0.75 per gizzard. Ho, 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 ho. Go to number 15, the same thing, except we have dollars is a function of the livers, okay? So underline function of Y is a function of X. So your dollars is going to be a function of the number of livers you get. So let's go to the calculator. I need 5, 12, and 30. 5, 12, and 30. So home, 1. Don't click no, and then 4. I need my X and Y at the top. And then 5, 12, and 30. Go over, up, up, up. And then let's get our Y's in. So our Y's are 9, 17.4, and 39. 9, 17.4, and 39. 9, 17.4, and 39. So 5, those numbers are correct. 5, 12, and 30, 9, 17.4, and 39. I'm going to run a linear regression. So menu 4, 1, 3, X down, Y down, enter, and bam, right here. My slope is 1.2. That's $1.20 per liver, right? So I'm going to go to my table. I'm going to put 1.2. It's $1.2 per liver. So each liver is costing $1.20. Ho, 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 ho. Turn the page. So we're going to number 16 and 17. These two problems are some of the most important problems you'll do this year. So let's write at the top, y equals gx plus s. To turn a word problem into an equation, the growing number, starting number helps. It's the same thing as mx plus b. So read through the problem, put an s by the starting number and a g by the growing number. Bubba Bob gets a 40-ounce lemonade. He drinks 2 ounces every minute. The 40 ounces will be your starting number. The 2 ounces is our growing number. Since he's drinking the lemonade will go down. The growing number's negative. The starting number's positive. This right here is our slope, -2. And he's drinking 2 ounces per minute. This is my y, this is my x. Ho, 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 ho. So the y-intercept is your starting number. It's 40. On the STAR test, they're going to say it's the initial amount. So the initial amount of lemonade. The x-intercept is how many growing numbers are in the starting number. So it's the starting number dividing by the growing number, but you have to flip the sign. If he drinks 2 ounces every minute, it's going to take him 20 minutes in it. So the x-intercept is going to be 20. 20 minutes of drinking equals 0 lemonade, right? So at 20 minutes, he drinks all the lemonade. Let's go and graph this. The y-axis is the ounces. The x-axis is the minutes. He starts off at 40. He finishes the lemonade at 20. You're going to connect the dots. You need a 0. And then remember, this right here is our domain. And from here to here is the range. So we're going to go straight down and answer the domain and range problems. So on 21, what is the domain of the function? The domain starts at 0 and goes to 20, doesn't it? The domain is on what axis? It's on the x-axis, and you always use less than or equal symbols. That means the domain is more than 0 but less than 20. That's what that means. The range goes from 0 to 40, so we put 0 to 40. It's not on the x-axis, it's on the y-axis. And you do less than or equals. So the range goes from 0 to 40. Oh, let's go to number 19. On number 19, I want you to put these in InSolve and solve it. Put the answer over here. Show your work for full credit. So we need to distribute the 2. 6x minus 16 equals negative 4 plus 4x. Always try to move the letters to the left and the numbers to the right. So we're going to move the 4x over. 6x minus 4x is 2x. And then I got 16 squares and 4 squares, don't I? I need to move these 16 squares over. So I'm going to end up with 2x equals 12. I'm going to divide by 2, and I'm going to get x equals 6. Ho, 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 ho. So on the next problem, you're going to put this into InSolve. You're going to hit Control Divide to get a fraction. And then you're just going to, on this it's a proportion. Put the answer over here. You're going to cross multiply. So I'm going to take the 3x plus 4, and I've got to multiply that by the 3, don't I? And I'm going to take my 8 and multiply it by the 6. I've got to distribute the 3. I'm going to get 9x plus 12 equals 8 times 6 is 48. Notice on this problem, we have one rectangle but 2 squares. I'm going to move the 12 over. So 9x equals 36. Divide by 9, and I'm going to get x equals 4. Ho, 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 ho. So you should end up with 4 on this. Let's go to number 20. On number 20, we're going to write the equation of the line given 2 points and a point and slope. So if you are given 2 points, you make a T-chart. And you put 5, negative 2, and you put negative 5, negative 8. You're going to put this in a linear regression, and you're going to get the M and the B. Piece of cake. So let's go to the calculator. I'm going to hit home, 1 for new. I'm not going to save anything. I'm going to add a spreadsheet. I'm going to go up here, put X and Y at the top. And then my X's are 5 and negative 5. And now I need to look at my Y's. My Y's are negative 2 and negative 8. So negative 2 and negative 8. And then menu 413, X down, Y down, enter. So menu 413, X down, Y down, enter. And bam, I got it. So my slope is 6/10 and my y-intercept's negative 5. So I'm going to go to my paper and I'm going to write down b equal negative 5 first. Now then, I got to switch that slope to a fraction. So I'm going to do Control-C to copy. I need to copy it where I can calculate it. So Home and A. Then hit Control-V. And then menu 2 to enter. Menu, number, convert to fraction, enter. The 0.6 turns into 3/5. Okay, so I'm going to go to my paper. The 0.6 is 3/5. My equation, y equal mx plus b. My m is 3/5, and my b is negative 5. So y equals 3 over 5x minus 5. That would generate the line that goes through 5, negative 2, and negative 5, negative 8. On the next one, we're given a point and a slope. If you're given the point and a slope, you're going to label it x, y, and m. And then you're going to write down y equals mx plus b. You know all of the letters except for b. So let's replace all these. My y is 4. My m is 1/2 times 6 plus b. You're going to put this into InSolve and solve for b. I'm going to do it in my brain, but you would type that into InSolve and find b. If you work it out, you're going to get b equals 1. So my m is 1/2, my b is 1. I get y equals 1/2 x plus 1. That's the equation that we go through 6, 4 and have a slope of 1/2. Ho, 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 ho. Let's do the next one the same way. So we're going to put x, y, and m. Write down y equals mx plus b. The y is negative 2. The m is negative 1/2. The x times negative 4 plus b. you're going to put this into InSolve and solve it for b. I'm going to do it in my brain to save time. So negative 1/2 times negative 4 is a positive 2. If I move the 2 over, I'm going to get negative 4. So b is going to be negative 4. So my equation is going to be y equals negative 1/2 x minus 4. If I put negative 4 in there, I will end up with negative 2 as the answer. So that's the equation of a line that goes through negative 4, negative 2 with a slope of negative 1/2. Ho, 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 ho. We're almost done. So let's go to the next problem. Okay, on 22, this sets up as a direct variation or a proportion problem. Okay, so Jimmy John wins that stuff, possum at the fair. Lucy Clue's lucky, okay? He has $10 left over, and a 4-ounce malt costs $1.60. They're going to get as much malt as they can for $10. So we have ounces and we have dollars. So we're going to put 4 over 1.6, and then our 10 is going to go on the bottom end. So we're going to do 1.6 times x equals 40, or 4 times 10. So basically we're going to take 40 and divide it by 1.6. So how many times will 1.6 go into 40? So let's figure that out. 40 divided by 1.6, and you get 25 ounces. So you're going to be able to get a 25-ounce malt. Ho, 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 ho. F-U-N, fun, fun, fun. Let's go to the next one. Bubba Bob and Emma Sue, they're having a blast eating fried Oreos. Oh, 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 oh. Bubba Bob, they walk along the midway, and Emma Sue wants souvenir charms for her necklace. Oh, each charm costs $4, and Bubba Bob's got $20. Write a T-chart that shows the amount of money left as a function of the number of charms. So at 0 charms, Bubba Bob still has $20. To make Emma Sue happy, he keeps buying her charms. So at 1 charm, he's going to have $16. 2 will be 12. We just keep subtracting 4, don't we? 3 would be 8. 4 would be 4. And 5 charms, he has no money left. He is out of money. Happens a lot, guys, okay? This is our domain. And this right here is going to be our range. So go over here. The domain is the number of charms. Okay, and it's going to go from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We don't need the last blank. And then the range is going to be the amount of money. And remember, you go from small to big. So we're not going to start at 20. We're going to start at 0 and go up by 4, right? This is how much money Bubba Bob has in his pocket as he's spending money. So we are done with this problem. Ho, 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 ho. What a blast. Hope you've enjoyed this. Please keep doing these every week. It's going to make you a better math student. Enjoy your 17 seconds of Zen at the end of this video. Remember, you are amazing. You are created to do wonderful things, and you are awesome.